Thanks for coming from our side. Also the people from here, physical in Zurich, and also people from Zoom and also in YouTube. And now we have the first video ready from Bart. Maybe we can watch the video and after that we can talk.
So maybe we can listen to the author, to Bart, this first work. If you want to share some words with your colleagues, I will.
My goal was to create a building in between two existing buildings. We, as an architectural firm, made in Amsterdam, because the plot in between those buildings wasn't occupied when we built it. Now it is, but okay. And I wanted to make everything out of grasshopper. So the complete surroundings is directly from grasshopper, all the buildings, roads, trees, etc. And then the input of the building would be the how do you say it?
GIS.
Sorry?
GIS, geographic information.
No, the maximum building code, which it was possible. Therefore, the building had a higher end at the top, at the end of the building, and then the idea was to maximize floor levels and actually to maximize apartment types into it. But that didn't work at the end because I had too little time. But I did manage to get main corridors and vertical transportations into it, and to start at the end. And that's actually the script in a nutshell. But so everything comes out of Grasshopper with just 3 inputs. That was the site location, the GIS information, and the maximum building heights, and the rest was scripting, or was the script actually. So that was in short the stuff. And yeah, because I didn't have time enough to actually, the main reason to do this was to create. We built in our firm a lot of apartment complexes, and we want to manage the best position of each type of apartment, divided into a whole building, not per floor, but the best possible locations of apartments that are 50 square meters, 60, 70, and 80 square meters, according to their program of requirements. That part is not yet done, but will be done when time is there. So that's something we need to work on still.
It's a constant work, no?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the main goal to get there, but yeah, that did not work completely in the end, but that's what we try to do. I try to do.
We will start later with the discussion of how it's going and the implementation.
Yeah.
And this is a small thing, but the important also, Bart was working really hard how to bring the GIS information in a fast, in a fluid way. Yeah. So he was really pushing harder, how to extract this data in a fast way,
plugin works,
which is the best plugin what I need to put there.
Yeah.
And also, all this data, how we digest to start the project with a better perspective, and with more information. Yeah. That is really limited time with the competition and
that was a bit of a shame. But the cool thing about the surrounding was that it's all on GIS coordinates. So the slopes are already in the model. So the surrounding houses are the actual height compared to the building plot you have. So you could use that surrounding plot to do solar study or all other studies to make your design better in the end.
This is the main goal. Now that we have more time to design better, this is the main goal. I think we will jump to the next project. I will share my screen again. So, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, well, what I tried to do was to pick a plot or a lake or anything where you like draw a line, so the architect is in control. You draw a line and to optimize that line with the most amount of apartments in it or the most amount of building length. So you could see the line, and basically the optimization you saw is in Galapagos, and also using MetaHopper to set the different ranges of the building, because you don't want a building that's this small or a building that's like the entire length. So that you could set that personally, and then you just let Galapagos pick random points along the line, move them a little bit to create the optimal line for that plot. And then once you have that, you can start building your building, which is the terrace steps of it, which also have a maximum height all around the lake. And then from there you go further and you do the facade is generated, and the steps are generated, the walkway around this is generated. And it goes even further because you have the balconies on there, which if you have a curve, the balconies get smaller or bigger, so that's not also a problem. The balcony is also tailor-made to their position. And then once the lower balconies are bigger and the upper balconies are smaller. So it's just, everything is like generated just from the single line you drew. And then with that, you have the entire option. You can generate like 1,000 options. Yeah.
And also your explanation that you continue in the technical part, no, trying to explain, to share, to deal with it. It made me think in another VSS we have here also. You will have another discussion with him later with Manuel, because yeah, it's a way of working that made you think, and you really enter in this process, and it's a kind of problem solving, no? And you wanna go one step up, and when you are learning more, it's quite addictive, we can say. No?
Yeah, once you figure out Galapagos, you can go even further, and you can optimize it on any other output that's in the script. So that's really interesting.
It's a beautiful world, computation, and also connected with biology, like it's Galapagos, no? And also opening the door to so many possibilities to use the computer. We want to say thanks. We have another two amazing heroes, the 4 heroes from AKEN. And I will share my screen again. They are doing the choreography.
I'm sorry. What I was planning to do is we have this beautiful city square in Eindhoven, and it's the municipality stated a couple of areas in Eindhoven that can be an extra large area, so we can make some height to like 105 meters or 70 meters, or this place is the maximum height of 105 meters. And we have a lot of neighboring plots that would like to go the height, but we have no idea on how they're working on the height. So are they planning on making like 70 meters or just 50, or a couple of towers of 70 and one of 150? So it was quite hard to imagine the plan on the entire square. So I tried to incorporate the neighbors into our own plan. It's the Begijnhof, it's called. It's a Dutch word, and it explains in the movie, but maybe it was a bit too quick. And on behalf of the neighbors, we can decide on go to maximum height or leave it a little bit lower to get the right image and view, and maybe even if you go even further, like sun studies or kinds of all the plugins we can use and we can incorporate in the model. So.
First of all, thanks, Erik. I think also how you deal with the project, with the timing and all the pressure that you were having in parallel. I think the project is it's brilliant. It's saying a lot from yourself, like professional, and also from the beginning till the end, how you explain these first seconds, explaining the diagrams, the concept behind. That is a complex concept, so it's already a strong presentation saying, "Hola, here I am, Erik, and I want to show you something great, in the center of Eindhoven, and respecting the historical part with the modernity." So understanding how the city is also evolving and growing, that it's really interesting. But I think the explanation and the final project is great. We enjoy a lot also watching how you were doing so fast, always fighting with time.
I had to find my time for a couple of weeks.
But I think that the results they are saying a lot, and I think the great story from all of you. Now you can show that to your family, friends, whatever person. They will understand what you were doing with these crazy guys from Switzerland during this month. And I think it's also explaining a lot from each one of you and what you want to reach in the next step. So I really want to say congratulations. We really enjoy with your project. And I think now we will close the loop. I mean, we can have some questions. We can have physical questions, online questions. We can see Sebastian there. Okay, let's go for the last one. That is also an interesting bomb. So, Youri.
Yeah. Yeah, so my starting point was Mondrian, the art of Mondrian. I really thought there was sort of connection between Mondrian and sort of the urban scale or architecture itself. And then one of the goals for me was to see how can I do as little modeling as possible. So go for the urban scale, create a sort of village, divide it into different blocks. And then on the other side, go to sort of architectural details, go to sort of window frame architecture, and try to incorporate that in the script. And in that sense, the only thing I had to do was, of course, make the script, but then draw the central line, and then the script reacts to it and creates sort of special blocks next to the river. And then for the blocks, I used 3 paintings from Mondrian as sort of identity. So there you have sort of the color one, and the white one, and the sort of yellowish brownish one. Just a sort of identity of the different blocks, but the script itself within the parameters was purely sort of randomized, or randomly generated. But it's fully reactional, so that was really, really nice.
Well, we want to say that this work was a big impact. From the other side, was a big surprise. And also, we can really feel your sensibility and taking so much care of the music, how it's going with the video. That was, I think, one of the stronger points of the whole mix, no? Mixing all the arts, paint and also sculpture, all the things together. And when we were watching, we were really enjoying, and also watching you, how you are doing an urban plan, no, in a small scale. It makes us think in Japan, in the scale of the houses in Japan. No, it's really close to the human, and was really beautiful. You define a micro world, a Piet Mondrian world inside this small space. No, it was something really, really beautiful to watch it and to see the results. No? We can say we are really proud of all of you. We get emotional explaining. It was a long travel, all these months training, but at least, yeah, now you have all the results, all this work done. Now we will discuss about the implementation. Don't worry, we know it's hard. But the important is the start and the really nice final with this work. I don't know if we have questions or we should jump directly to the beers. Some of us were ready.
I think we have published.
Thanks, Nora. Questions? Was everything clear? Meta Hopper. Okay, I will say something. Now we watch each independent work from one of you and how you see the next project collaborating together. How can you imagine now with all this work, all this direction, how you can develop one project together? Because we really want to watch it.
Together with the 4 of us?
Yeah, four of you using this working methodology and developing one project together.
Well, we already started, like in our office, to think of the next step and how how our office is working. We do a lot of static shapes, like clean rooms, have a specific shape, little like boxes. So we started on stacking them and expanding them in multiple. So we started on thinking how can we implement those kind of demands of, for example, ASML with the clean rooms, or even other companies, on how can we quickly arrange the building system within like a building for ASML with a clean rooms. Two or three.
We want to start with relatively simple scripts that can help our engineers and designers to get familiar with parametric design, because in our office we're the only ones that understand it now, and to let them understand what the possibilities are, you can best start with small steps. So what Erik explained, a clean room is just a box in a box in a box, and then copy together to make one big building, and that is relatively simple to script. So that we're going to start now making a script that we can use, and because we're building a lot of clean rooms, that script can be used over and over and over and over again, and then we can expand it with making facades, making structural and everything on it, so that we leading them into parametric design and showing them what the possibilities are. And what the trigger was to use it on the clean rooms is the biggest clean room client of ours is ASML. They make chips that go into your iPhone, and they make the machinery to make these chips.
Yeah.
And that is it starts growing and growing. So they started with a cabin like 10 by 20 meters. Now the cabin is 30 by 40 meters, and probably in 2 years it's 45 by 50 meters. So they're starting bigger and bigger. So then if you have it parameterized, it's really fast to letting them know, if you have this plot, you can build this kind of typical clean rooms, type A, type B, or C, or combined, to get the most out of it. So if we've done that, then we can go a step further and start parameterizing more.
I also think, I mean, that's really nice as a sort of for the bureau, but I also think we have the power now. So I want to make my work easier. Yeah. So that script is also, that's making my job to.
You don't want to draw the same clean room with different sizes.
So make my job easier. That's very cool of the script. And it's very nice for the years. Yeah. But I guess that's one of the things, right? You want to.
We also have
a task, and you want to make it easier. And then you have more time for other things.
So you were starting to design the facade as well.
That's one of the examples we have. And we also worked on, there's a mechatronics innovation campus near Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And they want to make it like a campus. It's now a bit of a shabby area with all empty buildings and stuff like that, but we tried on making like a master plan of it, and it's based on just one simple grid, and we laid a grid over the entire area, and we combine the plots and extract the plots, and then our idea is to project like the grid area on the plots and get the perfect grid in all of those plots. And that's just a new idea we had a couple of weeks ago to start a new project within the parametric. Does that answer your question?
More than what's complete review. The important is that the logic that you already developed now, the exchange that you were having also during these months and now continue. You started a movement, no? As you say, you are opening for the whole of this, you are explaining and sharing. And this is only the beginning, we can say, no? I think we want to close our YouTube part because more people is coming. So now it's time for drinks and discuss and dance, maybe.
Right on time.